and More Spirit takes over coming past the wire. It will be More Spirit to win the Los Alamitos Futurity by a length and a half.
This is just an unbelievable day for Bob Baffert and Mike Smith. They are unstoppable. More Spirit has dominated the Met Mile. He won it by 7 lengths.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Spa Babies, presented by Spendthirft. I'm Dan Illman, along with Nicole Russo. We kick off closing week at Saratoga with the Grade 3 with anticipation as our Spa Baby race for Wednesday. Here's the field. It's carded as race number 9. We're going 1 mile and a 16th on the inner turf. This is a Grade 3 for 2-year-olds. And Nicole, I wouldn't be surprised at all if we see a couple of these in the Breeders' Cup a little bit later this fall.
Oh, absolutely not. This race has become really interesting as turf opportunities for young horses have grown with the advent of the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf races, the Turf Triple Series at the NYRA tracks, and other big races. The very first year that the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf was run, we saw Now win both the With Anticipation and the Juvenile Turf later in the fall. In recent years, we've seen horses like Catholic Boy and Fire at Will win this race and go on to bigger things. It's really become a prominent stepping stone for these young horses.
Trainer Shug McGahee's had a very good Saratoga meet with his 2-year-olds on the turf. One of his winners, the number 1 Limited Liability. Let's watch his debut score back on July the 31st. We see him. He is the gray, and he gets to the outside and in the clear under Jose Ortiz, and he storms on home.
Yeah, it came with a very good rally, and I like that it seems that he's going to have some pace to run at here as well for a similar trip. He earned a 74 buyer in that debut, the best in this field. The runner-up to him that day, Sweeping Giant, came back to finish second again on Traverse Day in a pretty strong turf maiden. Kitten's Joy from the family of Onus, On Leave, Ironicus, just a rock-solid pedigree to go 2 turns on the turf.
Number 2 is Salippo. This is a Candy Ride gelding who was claimed out of his winning debut for $40,000 earlier in the meet by trainer Bruce Brown. He is by Candy Ride, 10% winners with first turf runners. Out of Lisa's Booby Trap, who is a very popular horse based in New York, based at Finger Lakes, a dirt filly, but she has thrown a couple of horses that have run well on synthetic and turf.
You know, she has. I think it's a versatile pedigree, certainly with Candy Ride on top it is. I do think this horse will go longer. I do think he could run on the turf, but he's stepping way up in class and stretching out and trying turf all at once, and that's a difficult task.
Number 3 is Gooch Go Bra, owned by Donegal Racing. Let's watch his career debut. He's going to finish second in this maiden race at Saratoga. We see him saving ground and riding the rail. This is a good learning experience for Gooch Go Bra, who is in behind horses, now is going to split them and is going to get up for second. A solid performance for a distorted humor colt that has a very strong turf female family.
Yeah, the dam's a half to the Grade 1 winning synthetic router, Aruna, plenty of turf ability in the family. Earned a strong 68 buyer. Dripping Gold, who beat him on debut, hasn't run back yet, but looks to be working well and picks up Luis Saez.
The second colt in the race by Kitten's Joy is the number 4 Portfolio Company. Let's watch his career debut, a winning effort for Chad Brown on July the 17th. And this horse showed good tactical speed. He was able to sit second early. He takes the lead away from the pace setter inside the 3/16 pole, and he goes on to post a determined score with a very respectable buyer.
Yeah, 73 buyer, narrowly second best in this field. I like the way he finished up and got the job done. He was a little bit rank early before settling into second. I would like to see a little more professionalism this time around. Irad Ortiz stays with this one for Chad Brown after riding a couple others in this field, and you can certainly see why. And another one where you cannot argue with this pedigree whatsoever for the spot.
You're right, by Kitten's Joy, a full brother to Millionaire Charming Kitten. Kavad should show some stretch out speed for trainer James Chapman. Despite the blinkers going off, this horse has raced 4 times on dirt, including a stakes placing in the Tremont. There's turf in this pedigree, Nicole. A son of Lee is a half to a couple of stakes place turf routers, and both of those horses are in black type as 2-year-olds.
Yeah, absolutely. I like that precocity that you just mentioned in the family to back up Lee, who came into his stride as an older horse. Lee was a graded performer on both the dirt and turf. Kavad had a very busy spring and early summer with 4 starts between his debut April 7th and the Sanford here on July 17th. He now sports a couple of bullet works as he comes back to the races.
The number 6 is Coinage, a New York bred in name only. He's by Super Stallion Tappet out of Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint winner Bar of Gold, who also won the Yaddo at Saratoga on the turf. Coinage's second dam, a graded stakes winner on the grass. This horse has raced 3 times on the main track for Marcassi, earned a stakes placing against New York breds last time. I think you'll appreciate the slight stretch out in distance and can show tactical speed.
Absolutely. I definitely think he'll appreciate more distance by classic sire Tappet, who's very versatile himself. Out of Bar of Gold, and I'm glad you mentioned her versatility. Yes, she won the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint, but she was a multiple stakes winner on turf and dirt at up to 1.1 miles, including the Yaddo at 1.1 miles that you mentioned. She was grade 2 placed sprinting on synthetic. She was very versatile.
And completing the field is the number 7, Ready to March, a debut winner in impressive fashion at Finger Lake sprinting on the dirt. Tell us a little bit about Tom's Ready, a young stallion that hasn't gotten a lot of press.
No, and frankly, Tom's Ready hasn't had a lot of opportunities. He left Kentucky very quickly, standing out of the state now. But he's a son of More Than Ready, and I am intrigued by seeing if he can get some turf horses. Considering More Than Ready is so good, both turf and dirt, going short, going long. I'm interested to see if some of his sons coming to stud inherit that versatility. You put Tom's Ready over a Warfront mare. Warfront to me says turf ability, says juvenile ability. A big step up for Ready to March, but I am intrigued by that pedigree combination.
Let's take a look at our top picks for Wednesday's Spa Baby event. It is presented by Spendthirft. You're going with limited liability. Love the professionalism he showed in his debut. Just waited patiently behind the leaders, angled to the outside, and mowed them down late. He could be a good one.
I did like limited liabilities, professionalism, and that for me is ultimately what kind of split the difference between the two Kitten's Joys in this race, limited liability and Portfolio Company. As I said, I think Portfolio Company is going to need to settle a little bit more to get his trip in this race. I think the race could set up from limited liability to kind of settle in from that rail position and come with a big run again if he can work out that trip. And as I said, I do think that his maiden came back very well.
The 1 and the 4 are the horses to beat. There's no denying it. I am curious to see what we get from the beautifully bred number 6 Coinage as he tries the turf for the first time. Interesting half-mile breeze on the turf 2 works back. Check out the Welsh Clock Report on drf.com before finalizing your opinions. Nicole's going with the rail, limited liability. I'll go with Coinage in the With Anticipation Spa Babies, presented by Spendthrift.